I'm just trying to get people off the prejudice they have against the word bank and why that prevailed. And I don't think it has all that much basis out there for anything except that here's some person in a home office of an insurance company latches onto that, and other folks just parrot it, and they take that as, quote, this is just the way it is. But it's not. They haven't thought that thing through at all. Concentrate on the fact that this is a concept. This is a way to look at things here. And it's not the way that people usually look at things.
Nelson, we were talking about coming up with the name infinite banking concept, and you shared that you feel at this stage that concepts is the most important word. Can you just, dig a little deeper into that as to why you think that's so critical?
Do you follow automobiles?
When I'm driving behind them, yes.
Yeah, but do you observe what goes on in the automobile business? No? Well, for your information, they come up with concept cars from time to time. This is what a car should look like, whatnot. This is what they're going to look like in the future, et cetera, et cetera. Remember those things back there years ago with tail fins? Wow. Oh, wow. Yeah. And cars so long that banana boats, I guess is the best way to describe them. Concept, yeah.
You said before, too, that in retrospect, maybe you should have flipped it around and had it concept infinite banking. Can you speak to that?
Well, that's the way the Spanish do things. Like we say hot water in Canada and USA, but in Mexico and Spain, they say agua caliente, water hot. The modifier comes afterwards. We do the modifier in front. But I'm just trying to get people off the prejudice they have against the word bank and why that prevailed. And I don't think it has all that much basis out there for anything except that here's some person in a home office of an insurance company latches onto that, and other folks just parrot it, and they take that as, quote, this is just the way it is. But it's not. They haven't thought that thing through at all. Concentrate on the fact that this is a concept. This is a way to look at things here. And it's not the way that people usually look at things. Yeah, it dawned on me back there when I was putting all this together that I had any number of clients who had reasonable amounts of life insurance, but they had huge cash flow going through equipment and so forth, and it was all finance and so forth. Reminded me of those days back in North Carolina. You see, what I did was I pioneered the technique of clearing land with heavy equipment, Caterpillar tractors, for tree growing purposes, and back in those days, a D7 Caterpillar cost $1 a pound. It weighed 50,000 pounds. Now, the financing package on it was $1,500 a month each. I had to do some third grade arithmetic, going through huge amounts of cash flow there. Not too much of it sticks to you. Most everything is going to the banks. Now, if you're going to move a Caterpillar tractor from one location to another, you don't do it on the highway. That means you got to have a truck with a lowboy to do that. Well, you've got people who operate those tractors, right? Now, they going to be driving those tractors on the highway or the lowboy or whatever? No, they got to have vehicles. You get the picture? Businesses go huge cash flow, and it's all financed. And it shouldn't be at all. Anybody can get out of this, but it's just going to take a different mindset and a change of thought process. That is all. But the trick is that getting it across to the next generation of people as such. There's some things that we'll get into later on in this effort here that will lend credence to what I'm trying to hem up for you. But so much of that is just wasted energy that it shouldn't be at all. That's why I did that third grade arithmetic back there and figured out that the typical person in the USA, 35 cents out of every dollar is going to interest, and it never changes. And I've had several people challenge me on that. And I said, well, go do your own study and report back to me. And I never had anybody report back to me that didn't come back with, you understated the case. It was worse.